Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. ATP Beijing, day 4. It's going to be breaking down the card for you, giving you a little betting predictions, a little preview, and going to be doing a quick little recap of day 3 as well while we're at it. So before we jump into it, like, subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, but I appreciate it if you do. But yeah, let's get started today. So day 3, the accumulator we had on, we were one off once again. Fucking couldn't believe it. We had Nicholas Yari to beat Matteo Arnaldi. He did. It was a good game. Daniel Medvedev to beat Alex de Minaur. He did. That was a good game. And I thought Rublev would beat Hugo Humbert, but he started doing that thing, what he does, where he just starts screaming at himself and he gets in his own head, and it went the distance. He ended up losing. It is what it is. We go again. But yeah, what else happened? There was another one. Oh yeah, Davidovich Fekina just flapped it. He done so well. He won the first set, and then the second and third, it was it was quite poor to say the least. So I think he was plus 3.5. Was it the points with? It started off at 3.5, and then it went to 2.5. But yeah, if you'd took the points there, you'd have been shit out of luck, I'm afraid. But yeah, so anyway, let's get back into day 4. First game we've got is Thomas Martin versus Casper Ruud. Spread is 3.5 or 4.5, and the total is 21.5 or 22.5, depending on where you look. Casper Ruud's quite a big favourite in this, 1-4. I think he was. Echeverry was 3-1 last time I checked. I don't know if any monies came in or not. Echeverry's won 4 of his last 6. He's okay. I think when he hits a bit of form, he plays a lot better. But is he in form? Questionable. I wouldn't necessarily say so. Last time out, he played Lloyd Harris, and it was a tough one for him. It was grueling. 2 tiebreakers, 3-setter, 2 tiebreakers. Very long game. He has had an extra day's rest, but I think Casper Ruud gets this one done. Maybe not in 2, but I think Casper Ruud wins this one outright. Total wise, 21.5, maybe. Hey, look, if you think it's going 3 sets, then it goes over, surely. 22 games. I think that one is very doable. But yeah, I'll be taking Casper Ruud on that one. Next game is a very good one. Yoshito Nishioka versus Yannick Sinner. Spread's 4.5 or 5.5, depending where you look, and the total is 20.5. Look, Sinner's a 1-5 favourite, and rightly so. Look, no questions about it. He wins this one outright. But I've said before, and I'll say it again, I really like Nishioka. He plays really good hardcore tennis. But Yannick Sinner is going to be so strong. In fact, too strong for this guy. I can see it. At first, when I seen the spread was 5.5, I went, oh, Nishioka plus 5.5. That's what, 6-3, 6-4 if he gets beaten 2. Didn't seem too bad, but now the more I think about it, I don't really see what he's got for Yannick Sinner. Uh, got to be Sinner all day. I know the odds are a bit shit, but there's no other way. Like, although you know what, like Yannick Sinner he weren't that impressive against Dan Evans. Like, okay, he won, but he struggled a lot more than I thought he would. Mm, he really did. He seemed to look injured as well. I don't know whether that was just something that was during the game or whether it's going to carry into this. So you may have to keep an eye on that. The odds suggest otherwise. The odds are saying, look, he's just going to win this one clear as day. Total 20 and a half. 21 games, man. I mean, does it go? I don't think this one goes over, actually. Now I'm sitting here thinking about it, and no, don't overthink it. Yannick Sinner to win. Nice and simple. Moving on. Carlos Alcaraz and Lorenzo Musetti. Spreads 5.5 and the total's 19.5. Not much to say on this match. There's hardly any value. Carlos Alcaraz is like, I don't even know what the odds are for him to win. I think it was like 2 to 25. Whatever. Whatever that is. No, the last time, who was it? Alcaraz beat Yannick Hanfman. It was. Total on that was 18.5, and it just tipped over. I think there was 19 games. The way you could look at this, Musetti is better than Yannick Hanfman. Well, he should be anyway. Does this go over 19 and a half? Because I thought the 18 and a half was low against Hanfman. I'm looking at this now going 20 games, 6-4, 6-4, if he gets beaten two. Look, the question is, do you think Alcaraz wins in two? More than likely. Do you think Musetti can keep it to one breaker serve each game? Personally, I don't think he can. But if you do, then hammer the over. Over 19 and a half, so very, very sharp lean, let me say. It's not an official, but it's a sharp lean. But yeah, like I said, hardly any value. No value in the outright win. Can't see Musetti winning. Taking him plus 5.5. That's what, 6-3, 6-4. So maybe that's a little bit better than the total. It's a tough one, isn't it? Nah, I've got nothing on this one. Sorry for taking so long on that. I was just caught up in deep thought. Um, Moving on. So this is the last one for ATP. Yeah, ATP Beijing. Well, can't even get your words out. And what a game this is. This just gives me a headache looking at this. We've got Holger Rune versus Grigor Dimitrov. Opened up as a 50-50. I think Holger Rune's slight favourite. And I get it. Look, I mean, he hasn't been himself for quite some time with all these injuries, but he made quite easy work of OJ Aliassime the other day, beat him 6-4, 6-4, which I was quite shocked and I weren't expecting that. But then again, I don't know what I was expecting in that game. Spread's just half a point. Spread's just half a point. That tells you how close this one is. And the total's 22 and a half. Maybe going to go to 23 and a half, depending on, well, looking at these odds here. What do you do? Is Holger Rune back to his best? That's the question, isn't it? Is he back to his best? Because if he is, then I think you can take him winning this one outright with a bit more comfort. But Dimitrov's had a really good year so far. He was a bit iffy against Mackenzie McDonald, but he has had a really good year nonetheless. I think the last time these two played, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it Wimbledon? Was it Wimbledon on the grass? Which Dimitrov openly prefers, and Holger Rune fucking smoked him in that. So I think it's safe to assume if Rune is back to himself, which according to him he should win this one outright. Yeah, I think I'm very tempted to just take Holger Rune to win. That might be the play. As far as the total goes, 22 and a half, 23 and a half. Look, if it's going three sets, then you'd think so, but sure, Dimitrov dropped a set like 6-1 or 6-2 the other day, and that's the last thing you need when you're betting overs. I I think I'll stay away from the total, and we're going to go with Holger Rune to win. And he better not let me down. I'm counting on him. Right, so that's it for ATP Beijing. And then the next lot we've got is actually ATP Astana. And I'm just going to fly through these pretty quick. There's only another four. But with there not being much value on the Beijing card, I thought maybe when it comes to the accumulator, I'll do maybe 2 and 2 from each, or 3 and 1, depends. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So ATP Astana, the first game we've got is Lehechka versus Medvedev. Spreads 2.5, 3.5, and the total is 22.5. This is a really, really interesting game. You know, Medvedev is a really good player. Usually a clay guy. Usually just smashes people on the clay, but he has improved so much. You know, it's more of a well-rounded, well-rounded tennis player. And I think he's only young as well. This is his second ATP quarter-final, so he'll be well up for this one. Well up for this one. You know, he's quite a decent underdog too. What was the point? 3.5 most places. And Lehechka on the other hand, you know, I don't really need to say much about him. Won his last four. Had a really good Davis Cup as well. If you watched that, he was good in that. 3 sets. Do you think? Do you think this one goes 3 sets? It's very possible. Over could be worth looking at. Then again, 23 game. I don't know. What I was looking at for this is Medvedev just to win a set. Decent odds, and he's more than capable of doing so. I think I can't even remember. I think he's won his last 7. He's won 7 in a row. You know what I mean? Surely you can win a set. I think we'll go back to that in a bit, but I'm going to put a pin in that. Yeah, Medvedev to win a set. Yeah, 1 second. Right. Okay. Nice. Nice. Moving on. We've got probably one of the better games of the day, in my opinion, and that's Talon Griekspoor against Sebastian Korda. Showing Korda some love on this one. He's an okayish favourite. Spreads 2.5, totals 22.5. Look, Sebastian Korda was playing peak tennis earlier on in the year. You know, January, peak tennis. It got injured, went off the boil massively. Fair play to him. He is most definitely on slow and steady path to recapturing that form that he wants to have, but not quite there yet. He has won his last 2, so like I said, it is on the right track. Um, what else? He had the last 2 that he won was against Popperin and Nuno Borges. I think he won Popperin in 3, and then Borges was in 2. You know, they're 2 decent players. Really, you know, no slouches. Really tough people to beat. Talon Griekspoor, on the other hand, had a really good year, but I think this guy has a good year every year. Not necessarily, you know, winning Grand Slams and going all the way in every tournament, but his consistency really impresses me. Very, very consistent. More of what you would say I don't want to say it sounds bad. I don't mean it in a bad way, but more of a basic, like a traditional tennis player, you know. And now I'm talking myself out of it. Like I was thinking Korda to win, but now I'm looking at it. What was the total? 22.5. One thing I've noticed about Talon Griekspoor's games, and you can go and check this yourself, like the majority of the games he's played recently, they all have 3 sets. And every one of them has tiebreakers in them, some even like 2. So with that being said, he's very good at keeping his serve. He's very good at winning his service games. Excuse me. I think this goes over. looking at the odds and they're begging you to take Sebastian Corda. They really are, and you know what? He probably will win outright. I think he's got a little bit more. I don't want to say flashiness, but a little bit more versatility to his game. A few more weapons than Greek Sport. That should get him over the edge. But I am very tempted with the over 22 and a half. Very, very tempted. Oh, this is such a. I can't decide. I just can't decide. Wow. We'll put a question mark on it. 22 and a half over. Possibly. I'll let you know about that one. Two more. So this next one's a brilliant game as well. This Astana's probably got the better of the games, I'd say, or the more maybe not even, but the more tougher to predict. Like these could easily go either way, and I wouldn't be surprised to be honest. But we've got Adrian Manarino and Jurij Rodionov. A decent run for Rodionov, I won't lie. Decent run for him. He was recently in the top 100, but dropped out of it. If he wins this game, he'll get back into it. Definitely, like this will ensure him getting back into the top 100. So pretty sure he'll be thinking about that. But on the other hand, Adrian Manarino, this guy's playing probably some of the best tennis I've ever seen this man play in his career. And he's what, 35? It's weird how he's sort of he's at this level and he doesn't even seem he's got that much to his game. Either. Very basic, a bit slower. You know, he plays a lot slower, but he uses that to his advantage. I think have these played before? These have played before in yeah. This was ages ago. Rodionov beat him years ago though, and I do mean years ago. 2020, 2019. Don't quote me on it, but it was one of them. Manarino's the play in this. Manarino's got to be the play. Spreads 3.5. Totals 21.5. Tempted by the over. This could easily go 3 sets. You know, according to the bookies, these are just expecting Manarino to go out there and sweep this guy. But like I said, man, Rodionov's a tough customer when he wants to be. Might be worth looking at the over, but I think I'm going to stick with Manarino just to win. Yeah, all day. All day. Nice and easy. And the last one we've got is Dominic Thiem, Sebastian Offner. Now, this just should go over. This should go well over. I think I can't remember what the spread is. Sure, it was 1.5, maybe. I haven't written it down for some fucking reasons. Yeah, don't know what's happened there, but if I can remember correctly, it was 20. Total was 21 or 22 and a half. I think it was 22 and a half. Yeah, wouldn't have been 20. 22 and a half, and the line is 1.5. Dominic Thiem, slight favourite. I think Dominic Thiem is going to be knackered after that match he had with Marcus Giron. Battle. After battle to win that one, 3 sets. While in the meantime, Sebastian Offner just smoked Alexander Bublik dead quick, 6-4, 6-2. So there's no doubt who's going to be the fresher player there. I think Offner could just win this outright. I do. Like, but maybe a bit of a bold pick. It's an underdog pick as well, but it's an underdog pick that I really, really like. And once again, the over as well. Like 22 and a half, 21 and a half. I'm sure you can get it to 21 and a half certain places. Yeah, that's looking like a banker. And you know what? I haven't even told you why. The last 3 times these have played, there's been 3 sets and at least one or two, well, at least one tiebreaker in each match. 3 sets, tiebreaker. You know what that means? Goes right over. I've talked myself into it, I think. Over 21 and a half all day for that. Not spending too much time on that one. And oh, that's it. That's all. That's all of them, yeah. So I know I usually give me accumulator at the end of the video, but I'll be honest with you, I just haven't sorted one yet. I just haven't sorted one. I'll post it on Twitter in about an hour or two once I've decided. But if I had to guess what it'll be, I would say I'm gonna take Casper Ruud to win, Yannick Sinner to win, Adrian Manarino to win, and either the over in Greek Sport versus Korda or the over in TM versus Offner. If I remember correctly, when I was looking before, that should be around 2.5, 3-1. So plus 300 for all the Americans, if there's any Americans watching. But yeah, I'll post it on Twitter. Don't worry, I won't leave you waiting. But yeah, thanks for watching another video. Really appreciate it. Take care of yourself, take it easy, and I'll see you in a bit.